see that? Can you see it? Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. I am sitting in my forest of flowers out here in my back garden. It is so very beautiful, especially when you get down low and you almost feel like Alice in Wonderland when she's all little. It's just really, really fun to be back here. So I'm going to be working in the back garden today, and I have to say it's an amazing day. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which is absolutely unheard of for me in June, July, August, because here where I live in California, we get really, really hot, and I have to get up early in the day to beat the heat. We have been having the best weather. Today, the high is 80 degrees, which is crazy. It's like 77 degrees right now. And then for the rest of the week, we're in the 80s, and next week we're in the low 90s. So I am enjoying absolutely every moment. I slept in today, I relaxed in the morning today, and then I didn't really get out into the garden. I didn't really start thinking about getting out into the garden until the afternoon, which was very different for me. That's kind of what I do in the winter time. So anyway, what I'm planning to do today is I'm planning to clean out this garden bed off to my right. This garden bed I actually planted in the fall. I did the cool flower method, and I planted a whole bunch of bachelor buttons and also snapdragons, and I enjoyed them early on in the season. I haven't pulled this yet because I actually got a whole bunch of volunteer zinnias in this bed as well, and I've been enjoying those, but I'm ready to plant something else in this bed, and I'm going to pull all of this stuff out: the snapdragons, the bachelor buttons, and the zinnias. I have 2 full beds of zinnias here, so I don't have to worry about not having enough zinnias, but I wanted the space right here to plant something that I have to admit I'm super late on. So don't do what I do. I want to plant corn, and it is kind of late to plant corn. I mean, I could have planted corn. It's still kind of on the list. Yeah, I can still plant corn in July, but I probably should have planted it in early July, and even better, I probably should have planted it in June. But what I did is I decided to go with the quickest growing corn I could find at the store. And so what I got is I got Butter Gold and I got Early Sun Glow, and both of these only take about 60 days, 62 days and 63 days. And normally most corn types take about 80 days, 80 to 90 days. And these guys only take about 60 days. So now if it comes to my first frost, which is December 4th, I still have like 135 days until my first frost. So I'm not worried about that. But for corn, I want to eat corn, and I want to use the corn stalks in October for fall and fall decorating and all that kind of stuff. And we are at 71 days until October 1st. So I have just enough time to plant these quick growing corn and get a crop before October 1st, and then let my stalks dry out so that I can use them for decoration. I'm a little late, but I'm still going to try. And even if I just enjoy the look of corn growing in my garden, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be really nice. So I just I'm a horrible planner when it comes to fall planting and all that kind of stuff. And I probably shouldn't even show you guys this, because if you wanted to do this, you would have to go out like today to go get these planted in your own garden. But I figured it was worth a shot. So this is what I'm planning to do today. First off, I have to clean all of this stuff out. And then, I mean, luckily it's already hooked up to drip. It's already nice, good compost. After I clean it out, it's going to be a relatively easy job. Then if I still have time, I'm going to see if I can start training some of my hops that I have on my poles around here in the back garden. But I'll show you guys that in a little bit. So right now, let me get my gloves on. Oh, look at the bees. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a little bee right here. But it's okay. There's plenty of flowers for the pollinators in my garden. I'm going to get my gloves on and I'm going to start cleaning out this whole bed. So I've got this bed all cleaned up. I've got all the plants pulled, and I'm gonna compost those. And I pulled out most of the big roots, but I did leave some of the roots there. And that is because this is what's called a no-till bed. This bed is actually open on the ground to my native soil. And with no-till gardening, you don't wanna mess with the soil too much. And that includes pulling out too many roots. Some no-till gardeners will actually not pull out the plants like I was doing, and they will just cut them at the surface of the soil and leave the roots in the ground. And the purpose for that is as they decompose and disintegrate, it leaves nutrients in the soil, and then it also leaves air pockets, which is really good for the soil structure. So it's kind of a neat technique. I'm really, really enjoying it in these beds, and I've actually used it all throughout my garden as well. And the whole thing is that you don't want to mess with the soil. You want that soil to continue to have its native structure that it has going on, because deep in here, there's tons of bugs, there's tons of roots, there's tons of mycorrhizae, and it's all going on underneath the soil. And if I come in and I mess with it too much, I'm basically going to be exposing that soil, exposing that system to the sunlight and to the heat, and basically cooking it. So I want to protect it as much as possible. So it's been a really, really fun technique, and I kind of consider it the lazy gardener's technique, but luckily the lazy gardener's technique works really, really well. Now, what I am going to do for this bed, since corn is such a heavy feeder, I want to make sure it has plenty of nutrients. I'm not ready to add more compost to this bed yet, but what I am going to do is I am going to amend it with some all-purpose fertilizer. And I have 2 half bags right now that I'm just going to use up. I have EB Stone Organic All-Purpose Plant Food, and then I also have a Spoma Organic Plant Tone. And I'm just going to mix them all together and put them where I'm going to be sowing the corn, so the corn can get started really quickly. Corn really likes nitrogen and really likes phosphorus, so this will give it a good start, and then I will come through and I will fertilize it as it's growing as well. Plus, I want this corn to grow as quickly as possible so I can have it in time for fall. So giving it lots of fertilizer is a good thing. So let me amend the soil real quick, and then I'll get to sowing my seeds. So I already have the drip irrigation here. It's inline emitters, and the emitters are every 6 inches. And so I'm going to sow the corn every 6 inches, but once they start growing, I will probably come out and thin it to every 12 inches so they have plenty of room. Okay, finally, time to sow the seeds. I think I'm going to put the early sun glow over on this side and the butter gold over on this side. Okay, so this half is all done, all sowed with the early sun glow. Now I'm going to do the butter gold over here. Okay, all done. Let me grab the hose and water it in. All right, so my corn is all sown. It's hooked up to drip. It's watered in. The soil's been amended, and I even put these bird cages over it just to protect it. I don't think it's really going to be an issue because they have tons tons of other food that's more easily accessible, but I figured this could kind of deter them a little bit and just, you know, make them go look elsewhere. So anyway, both varieties of this corn is ready. Days to maturity is 62 days and 63 days. So in 62 days, I put a reminder on my phone to check the corn. And what I'm going to do is I will just check to see if the silks at the end of the ears are brown. And then I know that they're ready to be picked. And if they're ready to be picked, I'll stop the water to this bed. And then I will allow the stalks to dry out. And then I can cut those and use those for decoration, which I really want as well. So I am happy I did this. Like I said, a little late, but that's okay. Okay, now I am moving on to my hops. I planted hops in the corners of these beds, not all of them, but a lot of them. And you can see some of them look really good. Like that one has already grown up to the top, but some of them need just a little bit of help, just a little bit of training. There's a couple pieces that are like coming down onto the garden beds, which I knew that would happen because hops is pretty, it's a pretty intense grower. So I just have to kind of clean it up a little bit. Some of them didn't do so great. Like the ones up here, unfortunately, didn't do so great, but I'm just going to see what I can do. The problem with hops though is hops is like Velcro. If you feel the leaves and you feel the stems, it's literally like Velcro, and it hurts if your skin rubs up against it. So that's why I was kind of waiting. I was going to do it early in the morning, but I thought today, since it's such a nice day, I could wear a long sleeve shirt to protect my arms while I try and come and do this. So let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can make it look a little bit nicer than it does right now. Okay, well, I think that's enough of that. I got these 4 back here worked on. I kind of cleaned up at the bottom. I took some of the branches that were coming out. They are like super, super branched. Like every single vine has kind of a bunch of branches coming off of it. Here's a good example right there. And so they're all going every which way. And so I was trying to be really careful not to cut one of the vines that were going all the way up, because then I would have a dead vine up there. So it was taking me a long time. It was basically like a puzzle, or like untangling string or something like that. So it was taking me a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I think they look really, really good. And I mean, it really only is mid-July, and so I have a couple more months of these guys growing. So I'm excited to see how they will do. So these are Cascade hops. I got them actually off Amazon. I got the rhizomes off Amazon, and they're supposed to be really good for hot weather, and they're performing really, really well, especially this one right here. I don't know why this one's performing so well, but even though it is a beautiful day outside, I'm getting tired. It's been quite a number of hours out here, and I think I'm ready to go take a little break. So that's going to be it for me today. I'm happy I got the corn planted. Hopefully that will grow very, very quickly, and I will get to enjoy some fresh corn and corn stalks in October. I'll keep you all posted. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.